So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a one-on-one match. It was the AEW World Heavyweight Champion and one half of the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions MJF versus the Ring of Honor Television Champion Samoa Joe, one-on-one for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship in tonight's main event of AEW Dynamite Grand Slam. So yeah, we get to this match, and this match, it was a pretty damn good one. It was going back and forth between these two guys. But at one point, we see Samoa Joe and MJF on the ring apron, and Samoa Joe picks up MJF on his shoulders and hits a Death Valley driver onto MJF on the ring apron. He tosses MJF back into the ring. He goes for the pin. 1, 2, MJF kicks out at 2. Samoa Joe couldn't believe it, so Joe gets out the ring, grabs the table, and sets up in the pretty much at the barricade and stuff, like leaning up against the barricade. He grabs MJF. MJF's trying to fight back and everything, but Samoa Joe is beating him down, and then he hits a Uranagi slam onto MJF through the table. He picks up MJF once again, tosses him back in the ring. He goes for the pin. 1, 2, MJF kicks out at 2 once again. Samoa Joe still couldn't believe it, so he gets back out the ring, and yeah, he's just beating the hell out of MJF at this point. And he rips apart the floor mat and exposes the floor. Now, it wasn't concrete or anything like that, but it exposes the floor, and then he grabs MJF and like he's trying to hit a power driver onto him, but MJF starts fighting back and everything. And MJF was trying to hit one onto him, but then his neck starts hurting, and then Samoa Joe grabs MJF and kicks him right back in the stomach and hits a power driver onto MJF on the exposed floor. He picks up MJF once again, tosses him back into the ring. It definitely looks like it's going to be over this time. He goes for the pin. 1, 2, MJF kicks out at 2. Still couldn't believe it. Samoa Joe couldn't believe it at all. MJF was still fighting back. Samoa Joe picks up MJF and he runs the ropes and tries to hit a clothesline on MJF. But MJF ducks the clothesline, jumps over Samoa Joe pretty much, and hits a sit-out powerbomb on the Samoa Joe. And then he pins him, but Samoa Joe kicks out at 2 again. But yeah, Joe has a fight in him as well in this match. And then at one point, we see Samoa Joe lock on the Kokita clutch onto MJF. And then as soon as that started getting locked on, MJF quickly grabs the referee and pulls him forward. And then he hits a low blow, kicking his leg backwards, hitting a low blow onto Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe falls. Referee's checking on him. Then we see MJF grabbing the diamond ring, putting it on his finger, and he's setting it up to punch Samoa Joe upside the head, but Joe grabs the referee, pulling him forward, and the referee spots the diamond ring, and, the referee grabs the diamond ring, and he's putting it up, but while he was doing that, Samoa Joe comes up kicking MJF in the nuts, hitting a low blow onto him, sets him up on the second turnbuckle, and then hits a muscle buster onto MJF. Definitely looks like it was going to be all over there. He pins him once again. 1, 2, MJF kicks out at 2, barely kicking out at 2. Still got some life in him in this match. Samoa Joe couldn't believe it, so he starts locking on the Kokita clutch. MJF was trying to fight out of it, obviously, but, he can't and stuff. And, yeah, he kept on trying to fight out of it. Referee grabs MJF's hand, drops it down 1, and then all of a sudden we see Adam Cole run up to ringside. He drops MJF's hand again the second time, and, one more time, and MJF's out, and Adam Cole's trying to hype up the crowd and everything, telling MJF to fight back, and then the referee picks up MJF's hand for the third time, drops it down, but MJF stops it. MJF has some life in him. And MJF, pretty much runs Samoa Joe into the corner, but the referee had moved out the way and quickly jumped out the ring. MJF runs Joe into the corner, breaking up the submission, and then while the referee's outside the ring and everything, we see MJF pretty much grabbing like his wrist tape and quickly wrapping it around Samoa Joe's neck, and then locks on the Kokita clutch himself. Pretty much starts making him pass out. The referee gets back into the ring, checking on Samoa Joe, and yeah, MJF pretty much won by making Samoa Joe pass out. But yeah, MJF defeated Samoa Joe tonight, and he has retained the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. That's what happened. Great match right there. I really liked it. And then after the match ended, Samoa Joe gets up, and then he goes over there and pushes Adam Cole. MJF gets in between him him, trying to stop him, but obviously his neck's hurting, so he drops down to a knee and everything, and Samoa Joe looks at him for a second, extends his hand, and then MJF shakes his hand, and then Samoa Joe walks off. But yeah, that's what happened there. Really great match. What happened after the match and all that stuff was really great. I forgot to mention the entrance. This was funny. So MJF, before he made his entrance, there was a funny moment right here where we see him walking backstage, and then all of a sudden there was this little kid with his dad, and he screams out MJF. Same thing with the Bret Hart thing from in the 90s and stuff, when the kid screams out Bret Hart's name. Bret Hart walks back to him and gives him the sunglasses and all that stuff. The kid does the same thing, screams out MJF. MJF goes up to him, puts a scarf around his neck, and then he whispers something to his dad, to the kid, and then MJF walks away, and then the kid looks at his dad and goes like, "Am I adopted?" So yeah, apparently MJF told the kid that he's adopted, which was pretty funny. So yeah, that was great. That was before the match and everything with the entrance. Great stuff right there. But yeah, like I said, for the match and what happened after the match and all that stuff, I'll give it 4 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a great match and everything. I really liked it. You would have been thinking like the match would have ended a lot of times in this match with some moves, but it didn't. But yeah, I still give it 4 stars. It was match of the night for me. But yeah, that's what happened there. MJF is still the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Great stuff. I really liked it. And yeah, we're going to be seeing who's going to be MJF's next opponent for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, because it looks like this feud with Samoa Joe's now over with. But yeah, that's what happened there. Great stuff. I really liked it. For tonight's AEW Dynamite, I'll give it 8.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a good episode. There was some moments like the botches a little bit with Jericho and Guevara's match, and then pretty much Jon Moxley apparently maybe getting injured in the ring and stuff. Hopefully he's alright. But yeah, other than that, still a good show. I liked it. It was great stuff. But yeah, that has been my AEW Dynamite reviews. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Videos, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. It'll be down there in the description box. And yeah, I'll see you guys later until this Friday night SmackDown reviews. See you guys later. Until then.